Hey everyone, going to do a video on my Hytera Radio, the P682, PD682. I'm going to show you guys how to program my radio. There was a couple of videos on this that shows how you program Hytera Radio. They're all good. Just wanted to make my own video. I'm going to do another one on the GD77. I hope that it comes helpful to anyone that uses it. I may do some things the right way, I may do some things the wrong way, but let me show you how I do it. Mine works. I have roaming turned on. I put it on a channel and it'll pick the best one that I need to pick. I don't even change channels anymore. So I'm going to show you how I do it. So I open up the fresh install from my previous files. So I have a folder called PD682. I have all my saved code plugs in here. So we're using right now initial, which was the first thing that I had after I did my firmware updates. There's three places that you have to put your DMR ID. You get this from dmrmark.com. First place is in settings. User assignment ID, minimum radio ID, goes right here. Make sure this is checked. Next one is in network. Probably not going to be needed if you're doing GPS stuff. It might, but that's right here. And then lastly is in digital commons, basic radio ID. This is probably the important one, I don't know. So that's it. Just put those three things in there. You now have your radio ID in common setting right here. And general settings network right here. And digital common basic right here. That's it. Let's close these out. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is I'm going to open up a zone. We have some stuff here. Zone 1, Zone 2. Let's see what we got. We got Zone 1, Zone 2. Alright, let's call this one. Let's call this digital channels. Let's call this one. Let's call this one Digi Simplex. Alright, so now we have digital channel zone and a Digi Simplex. So there's multiple ways of doing your zones. What I did before I had the roaming capability was I had the zone separated by repeaters. So I had a zone for one repeater and I called it the name of the city. So it would be like for West Palm Beach, WPB. For another area, let's say Palm Beach Gardens, it would say PBG. Those were the names of my zones, followed by the repeater's ID. Then in the channels, it would be like Wellington for WEL, NA, West Palm Beach would be WPB, NA for North America. So that's how I separated them. Here, we're going to do it a little differently. Hopefully your radio is capable of roaming. I got my Hytera PD682 from Gigaparts, and it did not come with roaming enabled. I contacted Gigaparts. They were awesome. They got me a specific feature update, which you go through and do through here. Tools, feature control license supply, or license register. They got me the file I need to turn on a feature. So to see if you have roaming turned on, you would go here to feature control. While your radio is connected, you would click feature check and it would check everything that your radio is capable of. Right now, the roam is not checked because I'm using a initial copy of one of my files because I didn't want to mess with the stuff I have already programmed. But on the current one, it says roam and it's checked off. I'll show you guys that later. But right now, let's assume that this is checked because it will be checked later on. So let's close that. And by the way, you have all your stuff up here. You can just click close and it'll close it. So back to where we were. All right, we got zones, right? To add a zone, you right click add. You'll have zone, whatever it is. You can't move these up and down. So if you want to add a zone here, you would go right click here, insert, and it will put the zone right there. We can call this Simplex UHF. Let's call it. We'll have the analog stuff in there. So if you want to reorganize it, unfortunately, you can't do up and down. What you could do is, let's say we want to put this up here, right? Bring this, click, insert, zone 1, right click, copy, go to this one, right click, paste, and now that became this. So we can now delete this. This became that. We just have to rename it back to what it was, which is Digi Simplex. So that's how you move it up. Unfortunately, there's no up and down to move these. So we've added a zone. Now we're going to add some talk groups. Talk groups are the groups you use to talk to other people in DMR. To do that, we're going to go to, though we'll talk about this RX group list. We're not there yet, but you can see I have a bunch of groups already enabled or added. But you would go to DMR services, contact, and this would be empty. You would click add. You would type, let's say, these are the ones I use. Let's say we're going to add TAC 317. So you would type TAC, whatever you want to name it, T, just 317. I like to name mine TAC and then the number, TAC 317. Group call, we want this group because it's going to be a talk group that goes out to a group, not an individual. And then tags go with the number 31, and then tag number 7, tag 317. It's done. So that's it. You've added a talk group. You could do, let's see, I have North America here. You would type in North America, group call 3. Then you've just added North America talk group 3. That is not Florida Southeast. That is USA Southeast. That would be Southeast United States. The talk group is 3174. Let's say we want to add a friend. Let's say we're going to add radio call sign ABC 123. Here you click private. And here you would write their ID, their DMR ID 314678. I don't know. I'm guessing something. 0. So now if you key this talk group up, you'll be able to directly contact this person. It's kind of frowned upon in the DMR world because when you do a private talk with someone else, you're holding up that specific frequencies half, since it's 2 time slots, which we'll talk about in a minute. You end up holding that up to make a private call. Well, if that's the case, maybe you should just give them a phone call if you're doing a private. I don't even want to call it simplex, but a private call. So it's kind of frowned upon. I don't have that. Plus, I don't really have any private calls that I speak with anyways. I have this so I could speak to other people, not just one individual. But if you want to add a private call, you have your own repeater or whatever. This is how you do it. We'll delete that. So we have this here now. So this is how you add your groups. All right, let's talk about RX group list. So the way RX group lists work is you put who you want to hear. So let's say we're going to call this North America. North. We'll call it NA all. So now we're going to have North America. We're going to have USA Southeast. We're going to have USA. And then, okay, let's just say that's what we got. So if you were to select this in the channel, which I'll show you in a minute, on channel 1 you have talk group North America and you have RX group list NA all. When you key up, you'll talk to North America, so your transmitting will go to North America, but on your receive, instead of receiving only from North America, you'll also receive from USA Southeast and USA. This is a good alternate for scan. So what you could do is you can monitor all the common channels that you listen to. So let's say worldwide English, sometimes 310, maybe 311. You can have a specific channel and you can call it RXNA, TXNA, or maybe RX all, TXNA, just whatever to remind you that you'll transmit on North America, but you'll receive from all your common. So if you have this, what will happen is you'll key up, you'll be able to talk to North America. When you let go, you'll practically be monitoring all of these. Just remember, if someone comes and talks on USA, hey, how's it going? This is call sign ABC123, and you key up to respond, you're not going to respond to him. You're going to respond to North America because that's going to be the channel. You're just listening to all of it. So if you want to do that where you hear USA talk and you key up, probably want to use the scan feature because scan goes through all of it and it'll stop at the group that's transmitting and you can transmit back. I don't do that. I just listen to one. I have North America. It's the calling frequency / talk group. I just have it on talk group NA, which is North America for me. And somebody talks. I don't have 10 freaking stations on there that I'm always listening to. So, all right. So now we've added an RX group, and we have a bunch of contacts that I've added earlier, but I showed you how to do TAC 317. Close this, close this, close this, make it easy. So now we're going to go add a channel. We're adding a digital channel because this is DMR. I already have a few right here. So this is for Wellington, and these are all this is one of the repeaters that's near me, and I use this to talk all the time. So I've already added all of these on my list. So let's say we want to add another one. Let's say we want to add, bear with me 1 second, I'm going to pull up the repeaters. Let's see, repeater book. We're going to go find the West Palm Beach one. Settings, 70 centimeters. We're looking for DMR. W2GGI. That is another DMR repeater popular in my area, 16 miles away from me. So let's say we're going to add that. So we have all of these. Now we're going to add digital channel. Right click, add. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have 8 channels here. I want to have 8 channels of this West Palm Beach repeater that I want to add. So we're going to double click digital channel. Select this. Batch add. Start now. 10. I'm going to do 7. So it's going to add 7 more, making a total of 8. Click OK. Whoops, I did it wrong. My bad. Alright, so now we got 2. Batch add. Channel number. Add 6 now. So we have 2. I accidentally added another one. I meant to do 2. 7 more. So we have 1, 2. I want to add 6 more channels. Click batch add. Make sure you have this one selected. And pick 6. It will now automatically insert 6 channels for me. There we go. 1, 2, plus the 6 that was just added. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So now I'm going to name them West Palm Beach Worldwide. West Palm Beach WW English. West Palm Beach North America. I'm going from the biggest to smallest. West Palm Beach Southeast. Oops. It's going to be West Palm Beach, USA. Again, largest to smallest is how I do it. West Palm Beach, Southeast USA. West Palm Beach, I like to add the tax, these 2 main tax. West Palm Beach, TAC 310. Oops. And it'll tell you if you made a mistake. I already had one that was named 310. So West Palm Beach, TAC 311 is what I meant. West Palm Beach, TAC. Oops, nope. This is going to be the local channel, local talk group. So local, done. Not going to touch anything else right now. Let me close all these because I got OCD. Go to digital. Here they are. They're all unfilled. So we're going to double click this one. We're going to set this one up now. So we have Palm Beach, color code 1. You have to make sure and find out what the color code for your repeater is. For this one, it's color code 1. It's 0 through 10, I think, right? Yeah, 0 through 10. I know this one is 1. If it's something else, you're not going to be able to transmit over here, I don't think. All right, slot operation. What is slot operation? So, slot operation is the way DMR works is, let's say you're transmitting a frequency. Half of it gets, well, not half, well, yeah, it is half of it, but the frequency gets split into 2 separate slots. So you end up using every 30 milliseconds of it. So your radio transmits for 30 milliseconds, it stops. It transmits again for 30 milliseconds and stops. This becomes one of the slots, either slot 1 or slot 2. It depends which one you're supposed to transmit on. Your repeater page will tell you most of the time all the local stuff is on slot 2 and all the non-local stuff is on slot 1. So slot 1 takes up, not takes up, but it's usually a lot busier because people talk on the state, regional, worldwide, continent. So there's a lot of people talking on slot 1, but they usually reserve slot 2 for the local stuff because local is a priority for, chit-chatting in the neighborhood. So we're going to keep this on slot 1 because this is worldwide. Color code is 1. All right, pseudo trunk is something that your, I don't know if your repeater has to support it. It could be radio based, I'm not sure, but it has to be something that your repeater or your repeater trustee is aware of and allows it. So what pseudo trunk does is it doesn't assign this specific channel a slot. It's either slot 1 or 2. So it will just find one of the empty slots and it'll transmit on there. So if someone is on worldwide and they're transmitting, it'll do slot 1. If someone goes on North America on the same repeater, clicks transmit, they start transmitting, it'll automatically put them on slot 2 because slot 1 is full. Even though both are supposed to be on slot 1, it knows that slot 1 is taken, so it'll let you use slot 2. The problem is if local is supposed to be on slot 2, now you just took that away from that person. So it automatically assigns a slot so that 2 channels could be used at all times. It's a nice feature, but it's usually not really supported around here or anywhere else that I know of. It's always local for slot 2. Anything regional and up is slot 1. So scan and loam list, we'll talk about this in a minute. As far as roam goes, I don't do the scan list, but after this video, I'm gonna pause it, or we'll just open up another one and you'll see how the roam list works. So we'll skip this for now. I don't do any of these, especially the IP multi-site connect and stuff. We don't do that until we do the roaming stuff. So, all right, let's see. Now we did all this, we named it, gave it the color code, what slot it's supposed to be in. Next thing up is the frequency. So my frequency receives on, my repeater receives on 443.3. Step is 5, right there, plus 5. We click copy, automatically adds the 5 and puts it right there. Here's the RX group list. If you do NA all, you will be listening to everybody that we put in that RX group list that is in NA all, which was worldwide, worldwide English, North America, USA, USA Southeast. I don't want that. I just want to hear worldwide on this. If I want to listen to all of them, then I'll make a specific channel for that, but I don't like doing that, so I'm going to do none. What this does is you will only hear whoever that you're transmitting to. So we're going to do worldwide since that's what we named it. Click down. These are all the ones we've added, like 317, and the ones previously that I've added. I'm going to click worldwide. So now you'll transmit on worldwide and you'll receive on worldwide. I don't worry about these. I don't do the GPS stuff. I like power level high. Transmission. Admit. Don't do always allow, because if the channel is full, you shouldn't be transmitting anyways. So do channel free. What this does is, as long as that time slot's open, it will let you transmit. that time slot is not open, it won't let you key up because the channel is taken and is being used. Timeout time, some people do infinite, some do 120. This is the amount of time that you can key up and talk. I can't imagine talking for more than 60 seconds on one transmission, so I leave this at 60. It'll help that if I accidentally key up the mic, it'll shut itself off after a minute. That's a long time. I don't understand how people do 2 minutes. Who talks for 2 minutes nonstop? I don't know. Not me. Leave this alone. That's it. So you've done everything that you needed to do here. So now this is set. Now here's what we're going to do. We're going to right click. I'm going to click copy. And then right click here. Paste. We're going to paste it to all of these that we just opened up. What we're doing is we're pretty much pasting all the information that we've tweaked, which would be the channel alias, slot operation, frequencies, and all that good stuff. Transmit power. Now we only have to change a few things. So we've already named them, right? We already named it. We're going to come down here. We're going to change this. Transmit group name. If you forget which one you're on, it tells you up here, whatever you named it to. So I know this one is this one. Click next. This one. West Palm Beach, NA for North America. Next one. West Palm Beach, USA. USA. Next one. West Palm Beach, Southeast, USA. USA Southeast. Next. West Palm Beach, TAC 310. TAC 310. West Palm Beach, TAC 311. 311. And then finally, local. Now, with the local, we pick local, but don't forget, local is on time slot 2. So you put that one here. Don't forget, otherwise you're going to end up transmitting local on slot 1, and you're going to end up not transmitting on the proper slot and fill up the wrong slot, which might not be appreciated. Slot 2. Everything else transferred over when we clicked paste. Here's the receive and transmit. We changed this according to what channel that we were changing. This transferred over, power levels on high. This carried over as well, channel feed transmit at admit. Done. Easy peasy. Close this. Open up zone, digital channels. Delete all this junk. It always has some stuff when you officially first open it. None, none, none. You can't delete the last one, so you have to add stuff. So what we'll do is we'll call this, you can call it digital channels, you could call it whatever you want. Let's call this, I'm going to do another one and show you guys how I zone things if I have a roaming. Let's do this one if you don't have the roam capability. This is how I like to do it. West Palm Beach. Name of the repeater, which is W2GGI. Now we add all the West Palm Beach stuff. Click, add, just keep adding all the WPB. If you add, I just clicked add, I'm not even looking here. If I keep adding and I see Wellington, oh, nope, stop, that was too much, and then I just remove it. So these are all the West Palm Beaches. Now we can also remove this one, which wouldn't let us delete it before. Good. Now, I like to go from channel 1 being the broadest transmitting to the smallest, which would be local. So, let's move them up. Click worldwide. Worldwide is the biggest. Number 1. Worldwide English would be the second biggest. Then we got North America, third biggest. We have USA, fourth. Southeast US, fifth. Locals all the way at the bottom. There you go. Biggest to smallest. I leave these down here, or you can put them if you want maybe here, since tag channels are used for North America. You can do this. Really doesn't matter. So there you go. North America. These are the North America tag channels. USA, Southeast USA. Oh, we forgot Florida. Okay, well, let's say there was Florida here too. I guess I didn't make that channel. So This is how you do it. Now let's open up another one. I want this one right under. If I click add, puts it at the bottom. I don't want it at the bottom. I want this next zone near this one. Click insert. Wellington. We'll call it well. And the repeater. Repeater should be, oh God, I think it's WX3C. I can't remember. But let's say that's the repeater. I'm going to add all the well stuff now. Oh, see, I stop here because that's not well. That's WPB. So I've added all the Wellington. Remove. Delete. Or remove. So now we organize it. Worldwide. Worldwide English. North America. USA. Oh, this one doesn't have the Southeast USA. This goes up here. This goes up here. USA, Florida, local. So now you can see if I'm whatever zone I'm in, if I'm on channel 1, it'll always be Wellington World. We have Wellington Worldwide. If I'm on channel 2, Wellington Worldwide English. If I'm on channel 3, Wellington North America, and so on. So that's done. That's it. So did we change the name of this thing? Oh, what happened? Did I just change the wrong one? I did. Alright, well, learning lesson. Let's do this now. I wanted this here. All my stuff's here. This may happen. You might make a mistake. We're going to right click. Copy. Come to this one. Should be empty. Paste. There you go. Delete this one. You can copy this right here. Alright, now we're going to delete this. Gone. Right here. Paste. There you go. If you made a mistake like I just did, you were able to move it to another spot. So that's all done. And now you would plug in your radio. You would click right, which I'm not going to do, and it will send your code plug over, and you'll be ready to transmit. So pretty neat. All right, let's close this. Open. Open a new file. You want to change the file? No, I don't. Let's do this one. So this one, if we open up, is the same radio. But remember what I was saying? Roam is now checked because I did this today. I reprogrammed the radio with the file that Gigapart sent me through here, and I added the roam feature. So now I can roam. So we go here. Let's look at my zones. You can see it here. It's a little bit different. There's no more repeaters. Let's exclude this one because that's an analog repeater. But there are no zones for city name followed by the repeater name. It's just roam channels. If I click on roam channels, I have only one. I don't have any other city here. If you look, it's all West Palm Beach, West Palm Beach, West Palm Beach. Well, what if I am in Miami? I'm not going to be able to pick up a West Palm Beach repeater because if I'm in Miami, I will be 40 miles away from this repeater. But all I have to do is just go to roam channels and pick channel 1. That's it. So how on earth am I going to connect to this? Well, with roaming, you're not. It's going to automatically connect to the Miami Worldwide, which if you look here is one of my channels. Miami Worldwide, right here. So, let's close that. Let's go to channel, digital channel. Let's look at West Palm Beach Worldwide. West Palm Beach Worldwide. Here it is. We're going to double click to open it. So it's just like what we did, except here, scan list / roam list. We have worldwide both. What is that? Oh, and we have this checked. IP multi-site connect, auto start roam. What are these things? This is for the roaming feature. So you're going to add all your, not channels, but your contacts that are here. Digital Common, where was that? DMR Services, contacts. You got all your contacts here. When you go to roam, you double click. You have all the roam channels that I've created. So all my North America is here. So what this means is if I am on channel West Palm Beach, North America, I will roam through Wellington, North America, Palm Beach Gardens, North America, Lake Worth, Delray Beach, Miami, Fort Lauderdale. So if I am in the most northern one, which would be Palm Beach Gardens, North America, and I drive all the way down to Miami, which is 50, 60 miles away from there, my radio will look to see if it can, not exactly how this works, but you'll end up connecting to the repeater that it can pick up a signal from, which if I'm in Miami, it's going to be this one. If I start driving north, it's going to start letting go. Once it reaches this threshold, 108, it'll start going to the next one. So I start in Miami, I start driving north. The next repeater I would hit would be Fort Lauderdale. The repeater sends a beacon, I think, every 30 seconds. So your radio picks up its signal. It's RSSI. Once it drops below 108, it will pick up to the next one, which will be Fort Lauderdale. We keep driving north. Probably lose connection in between, but the next repeater will end up being Delray Beach. At 108 RSSI, it'll drop Fort Lauderdale, connect to Delray Beach, and so on and so on. So you don't need these channels anymore in your radio, because as long as you have one, it'll just automatically keep connecting through them as long as these repeaters support IP multi-site connect. So that's what's so neat about it. To do it, it's very easy. Right click, add. There's a new list, roam list 1. We can call this TAC 310. So then you add all the, oh, I already have it. So let's do TAC 312. TAC 312. Alright, we don't have TAC 312. So you're going to pick up all the 312 channels you have. I don't have any 312s here, but you're going to pick up all the TAC 312s you have. Let's say this was DB312. Add. Fort Lauderdale 312. Add. Lake Worth 312. Add. And you will create another roaming list. Let's say that was this one. We added. We ended up with all the channels. So now whenever I tune into TAC 311, I'm just going to connect to one of these, whichever one that my radio deems necessary to connect to. I won't have to say, oh, I'm driving south, now I need to start hitting through all the repeaters and change zones. Nope, just leave it, it'll pick it. So how do you add a talk group to this list? We go back to Digital Common. Oh, I apologize. We go back to Channel, Digital Channel. Let's pick one of these. Wellington, North America. You must make sure that this is checked, IP multi-site connect. If it's not, it won't be on the roam list. You must check this to put it on the roam list. So you check this, and I do auto start roam, so it automatically starts roaming as soon as I'm in that zone/channel. I don't have to assign a button so that it would start roaming for me. I don't care. Just let it auto roam. And then here you would pick the channel that, the roam list that you want to include this specific channel on. This is North America, so all my North America channels are on this North America roam group. So I have it here. As long as I am tuned into anything that is part of this list, if my radio deems necessary that it needs to connect to Wellington, North America to keep it good, the RSSI, it'll connect to it. There's no guidelines or instructions on how roaming works, so I had to figure it out all on my own, which started with me realizing that that feature wasn't turned on my radio. Thankfully, Gigaparts came through. Analog, well, analog is the same thing. It would just like digital, except when you add a channel, you're just going to add it here. These are all the analog repeaters in my area. It's nice that Hytera splits them up. In my other radio, there it's all mixed up, so I have a million freaking channels just coming through: analog, digital, 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 analog, analog. At least here it's split up. I wish Radio Diddy did the same thing, but they don't. That's all I can think of. I believe that a Hytera is a great radio. It's very well built. I don't think I transmit or receive any better than my $95 Radio Diddy GD77. Some people disagree, but that's what I think. I have both. But the best thing about the Hytera is the roaming feature. Go to the zone on your radio, pick this one. If you want to talk on worldwide, if you turn your radio on, if it doesn't get the required RSSI from this one, it will connect to the other one that has the best one. My radio is off right now, but if I were to turn it on, you're not going to see the screen since I'm screen videoing. But if I'm looking at my radio right now, and it launches, right now it's connected to West Palm Beach worldwide. If I were to go somewhere else, drive south, or drive west to near Wellington repeater, it will automatically connect to the Wellington repeater if it deems that I'm not getting the 108 RSSI from the West Palm Beach one. It's really, really neat. I think it's an awesome feature. I love it. It's really all I can think about as far as how to program this thing. If you guys have any questions, ask away, and make sure you like the video if you like it. Subscribe for more stuff that I plan on doing, and thanks for watching.